like being at my optimal state. That's a biased measurement. If I wake up tired, perfect. If I'm always operating on less and I'll do more than you, then I'll beat you. I'm used to operating with not enough sleep, not enough food. I don't even eat. Like, I have no carbs in me. I have no sleep. I make it as difficult as possible so that I'm just focused on the goal. What happens when we get comfortable? We want more. We want more. We need more. We get comfortable, we get weak. I learned this in prison. When you're really hungry, you don't drift outside the fence. You're like, can I just get a sandwich? I'm hungry. That's all you'll think. I'm hungry. I'm hungry. I'm hungry. And then when you eat that meal, you have a big old spread with your boys. But then all of a sudden, damn, I miss my girl. Damn, I want to go home. So this is how you mitigate like how far you drift in your problems, is by keeping your basic needs at bay. So by staying tired, by staying hungry, by staying beat up, that's when you exercise your spirit strength. When the mind and the body fail, your soul takes over, your spirit's strong. You have to keep going. Every day when you're in the shoe in prison, you go out and I do 88 burpees, you do 88 burpees. I do 88, you do 88. We do that 10 times. So we do 880 every day. You're eating nothing. You're in the shoe. You're in isolation. And so I'm just like, there's no way I could do it again. But every day I found a way to do it again. Tired, hungry, everything. So during these times, I really just figured out what I was capable of. And that's the cornerstone of my success.
Wow.
What an absolute marathon that was.
Did you notice how we were laughing at the start, but then at some point we were just like, yo.
What are your two favorite parts? Because I have two parts I really like.
I like any sentence that starts up, that's something that I learned in prison.
I love I learned in prison, and then it's like, you're out there with a great spread with your boys. You get a killer crudité, or you get a cool brunch spot with your boys. It's like, and then it's like that quick picture of them being tough. Wow, a lot of cocaine or whatever he's on.
No, man, it's steroids. That's the one weakness in Wes Watson's armor, to my estimation. I think everything else that he does and says is pretty much perfect. He just advocates that people get sober, get money, and get in shape. That's pretty tight.
Yeah.
But he doesn't talk about he's on a massive fucking amount of steroids. An ungodly amount. I don't so much.
Well, I don't think he's. I understand his point, which is that if you're hungry, all you can think about is food. So then, be hungry, and then you'll make the sale. I don't know what the leap is, but to get as big, he's eating all the time to get that big. Number one,
he's 240, and he says that he doesn't eat all day. It's just like, so then what are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're fucking doing something. And his veins are just like fucking everywhere, bro.
I mean, it's such an excerpt, but what is he doing? What is the thing that he's staying so hungry for? I don't know. To do the burpees? Oh, making money. Okay.
Making money.
I love making money. BRR, being rich rules, being gay rules. Two things I live by. I do. BRR has been, listen, it's tight.
Pop your top. Let's see. It's been a summer break for this show. I'm gonna pull back the fourth wall.
Pull that down, man. What you thought?
Pull it down.
You thought you grew tall over
right here.
Break?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, this is season 2. Let's just call it season 2. It's not be continuous. Let's do a little check-in of the bod, and we'll talk.
Stand up.
Stand up.
Just for a sec.
Let me talk to my producer.
Woo!
How's that? You like that?
All right. So I'm seeing more cuts around, like definitely your biceps look like more striations, more lines. We're seeing some even more trap definition. Michael, do you agree? And
Let's
then
see
the
these
back.
traps. Wow.
The
Dude,
same
if you
back.
could just walk backwards forever, you'd be in hot shape. No, don't show your face. Turn around. There you go.
And I'm actually the chest definition as well. The chest has more separation along the side.
Well, thank you. Yeah. Well, so let's talk about the scale. So the scale says 280.
Okay.
At terminal fatness, remember I was 293, but I started our journey at 287. I got to get that guy to go back in with the calipers because I really think I've lost a lot of fat. And if you notice some of the clips we've been putting out, your boy's neck has got the overnight sleep cushion on it, and now I honestly feel like the neck is kind of tight. Like I don't mind the neck look. What do you think there, producer Mike?
That's last time I saw you in person. I was a little upset. I was like, he is losing weight, and again, not in a bad way because I am happy for you, and I don't believe that my jealousy and your happiness have to work on the same curve line.
Classic fat guy thought, too.
Yeah.
He's losing weight. He won't be one of me anymore.
No. Happy for you, sad
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's what the fuck. That's talking to me.
Yeah.
But I'm happy for
I understand.
you.
Thank you.
Now, so you haven't been strictly dieting, right? So this is like, I think, more of a success. I would see if you had lost 25 pounds, I would have anticipated you to have gained back like 10 to 12 by season 2. The fact that you lost 10 and only gained back 3 and weren't really dieting means that last season was a resounding success. That's what I'm taking to my coaching.
Well, let's think long term here, and to all my fans and to all the haters.
Suck my dick.
I want everybody to know that I've changed my mind. Listen, the Mayas and the Incans, they think in centuries. Right? What's that quote? If let's say I lose 10 season 1, and I lose 10 season 2, that's 20.
And we do
keep it
10
all-
seasons.
and you do another year. So honestly, like I thought there'd be more of a dramatic drop. We got to do a body fat test, number 1.
Okay.
But the clothes fit better. I feel great at this weight. I'm lifting super heavy. I'm feeling great about my lifts. And
Cool.
I'm eating within the calories you give me. I really kind of am in the protein you give me. And I have a couple kind of like cornerstone meals. Like, all right, last night was a little over. Get back to these cornerstone meals. So it's been kind of like not dieting like every day's misery. It's been like kind of easy, but the scale did kind of get to 277-ish. Mm-hmm. And that was like kind of the bottom.
But you were able to have a good ass vacation. Like you went to Nantucket and you were eating ice cream sundaes. Like you had like normal fucking 4th of July and shit. Like you've had a couple of days where like you've had some beers and it was no big deal, right? Because the habit is ingrained. What are those? Let's talk about the cornerstone meals. What do you keep returning to? Because this is what people text me all the time. Like, what should I eat?
all right, I'll give it to you. You get the Trader Joe's low carb wraps.
Got it?
You get a pound of 93.7 turkey.
Okay.
You season the shit out of it. You do the whole pound.
Okay.
You put out 4 of the low carb wraps.
Okay.
45 calories each. So you're at 180. The full pound of meat is how many calories?
600 600, 700 calories.
And it's like 80 grams of protein.
Yep.
Put the meat in the wraps. You put a little dab of the low-fat sour cream, salsa, tiny little bit of cheese. You're at like a 850 calorie meal. Eat that for lunch, eat that for dinner. You're good. It's like it's a lot of food, and it kind of. I have a way. We're gonna do this on the Patreon or on something. We gotta make some money out of this. Well,
We are making tons of money. We're
But,
successful.
It's true. We gotta manifest it. Making shitloads of money. But I was like, wow, this in a good way. This tastes like Taco Bell.
Nice.
I figured out a way to make like a fake. It's like a Taco Bell dollar menu, and that's my go-to. It's like a pound of lean meat, a little bit of carbs. You're full.
Nice.
I stopped eating salads. I used to eat salads with my wife, and my theory is that, man, she's Italian. She's one of these Italians. She's like bobbity boo, bibbity bop.
And
Olive oil. We didn't measure the olive oil.
Yeah. Now, and you've never felt full. This
I
hits
felt like I was really trying hard to eat well, and I didn't really feel full. And then later, I'm going back to the fridge. But if I eat like 4 giant tacos and a pound of meat, even though 800 calories sounds like a lot to the normal person.
No, you're fucking big guy. You're 6'7". You can have like 3,500 calories a day, and that's maintenance.
Yeah, so it's like a pound of ground beef, a pound of ground turkey, sirloin steaks, lean. That's like my go-to.
And you're doing great. Now, you in the past had problems where, like, Alyssa, like, you felt like you were being a weirdo for eating food that was separate in the house. Like, how is that going with... Because that's another thing is dudes don't want to be perceived as, like, weak in front of their girl for having diet food.
Yeah, and, well, she, like, had come to me in a moment of great marital conversation, and she's going to be in the pod soon. And she was like, I can't make your meat. There's too much meat. Please help me with the grilling process. So now when my son eats, I eat with him.
Okay.
And then she just eats later. So it's fine.
And she makes food for herself. Do you feel like you've lost like the family bonding or like couple bond? No, right? Yeah, everybody just eats the food that they need to eat.
Yeah.
Or she can get down and eat what you're eating. Like that.
Lord knows what she eats. I don't know. I've been married 6 years. I don't know what it is. Okay. I'm like, you want turkey? She's like, I don't eat turkey. I don't eat chicken. What do you eat? We're going to ask her on the pod.
I think my marriage is on the rocks because I've been making chicken, broccoli, and rice for 2 months now, and like I can see the look in my wife's eyes when I'm serving it up again. She's so upset with me.
She eats food.
Oh, she eats all the time. I mean,
Food at your wedding was spectacular, by the way.
yeah, she loves great food. She's a Texan, so she wants to eat steak and like shit with butter sauces and like fucking delicious food. But now she just eats that shit when we're not hanging out. And I'm about to be moving back into a phase where I can eat shit again. But I've been dieting for our pod.
Yeah.
So,
well, you can do. You're lean enough to do the kind of like 90-10. You could eat perfectly throughout the week, and then weekends have fun.
yeah, but I want to just go hard. What's the fucking point?
I don't think I'm gonna do that.
I want to have fun on special occasions. I'm gonna up my calories, but I'm like really focused on longevity.
Why don't you do something tight like run an ultra marathon? Why don't you stop being a bitch?
Because I don't want to run anymore. I just want to.
What do you want to do?
I want to do zone 2 cardio 3 days a week. I don't want to get big as fuck, but I want to get strong as fuck. I want my pound for pound power to be insane.
For the listener, what is Zone 2 cardio?
Zone 2 cardio is cardio that is like just
past zone 1.
Just past a walk.
Right before Zone 3, baby. Oh, perfect. Let's move on.
You can have a conversation, but you're slightly out of breath. So for me, that puts me somewhere between 115 and 130 beats per minute on my whoop when I am on the elliptical. And I'm just trying to like do that for 3 hours a week, because it has outsized benefits towards like your cardiovascular health and just like living a long, healthy life, which is what I want to do. I want to be as long and healthy.
45 minutes?
I do. So I'm lifting 4 days a week, and I have a strength powerlifting program that I'm doing compound heavy basics. And then I'm doing 3 hours of zone 2 cardio a week and sprinting once a week. It's a lot of time in the fucking gym, and it's gonna end at some point, especially when we try and have a second kid. If we end up, if she's pregnant again, that's just gonna be going out the window. So I'm trying to get it in as much as possible right now.
Yeah, and we are 3 weeks away from the arrival of my daughter. And with that in mind, and because I've been fed him on Instagram, can we play the guy with the glasses clip, Mike?
This guy?
Menser, yeah. Let's play him.
Once you've been with the program for 3 weeks or so, start inserting an additional rest day or two, even at random. If you do, you should never hit a sticking point, and here's why. As you grow stronger week to week, as you will with this program, that is, as you lift progressively heavier weights, the stresses on the body grow progressively greater too. Until finally, unless you do certain things like add extra rest days, the stresses will reach a critical point. They'll constitute overtraining. And the first symptom will be a slowdown in progress. And if you continue with exactly the same volume and frequency protocol, there will ultimately be a complete cessation of progress. Continue inserting the additional rest days with greater and greater regularity until you are...
And also, we got to make sure our guest is in here. Is our guest here?
I'm monitoring the text.
He's like kind of like the godfather of the like train to failure and then rest a lot.
Yes.
And I've been fed. I watch more of him on my Instagram than probably anything. And all I started doing was holding at the end of my sets, and then even doing some drop sets and doing some like real like max out.
But drop
shit.
sets is the opposite of training to failure. So you're adding volume. Menser would be like do one set, perfect. Okay,
Let me explain what I mean by drop set. So I'm at 275.
Okay.
For what I call the batwing pull down, which is palms facing with the little batwing thing. So I do my 6. Last one I hold it, let it go. I throw it to 250. And I do like 2 more reps and hold that. And I let that go, and I put it at 230, and I'm like holding, and then that's it. But like 1 or 2 sets, that's it. And I feel great.
Do you feel pumped up after? You feel super swole?
I feel
like
awesome. I did that yesterday. Tomorrow I'm gonna feel like a million. But I feel big right now. But tomorrow I know it's just gonna be like.
What's the soreness like day after? Not bad.
0. I really don't get sore anymore.
And never fatigued.
I lift too much. Am I stinking you guys up?
No, buddy.
You gotta let me know. I'm sweaty.
Some people I won't say that to. For you, I would. And I would happily say you were. You're fine.
Thank you.
Are you fatigued?
Yeah, my heart rate goes up too because I'm going very heavy. Like,
but do you feel like that systemic fatigue where it's like I'm like tired, walking zombie, like kind of like hungover without drinking fatigue?
Sometimes, not all the time. But I did pull down super heavy. Then I go to dumbbell bench, raw,
Great.
120s each.
God damn. You're
for
strong as
for
fuck.
8. And then what I do is I just take the same weight in my hands. I sit up with it, and then I just do RDLs with it.
That's nice.
And then I'm like, oh, that's like CNS failure over there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm working on periodization. So I'm doing like 3 weeks deload, 3 weeks deload. But for this pod, I've been eating only like 1,600 calories and then.
Like my sex life.
Oh. He'll be here all
Loading
week.
up on the D.
3 weeks to deload. Was that, I almost missed the window for that joke. It was a little bit delayed.
You got it right on time,
All right,
buddy.
thank you.
But like I'm experiencing systemic fatigue like hardcore right now. Like I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm starving and I have to eat something. Yeah, it's bad.
So what do you eat in the middle of the night? Rice and broccoli and chicken?
No, I eat Quest bars and rice cakes. It's bad, dude. I need to kind of, after Friday, I'm good. And then I'm going on maintenance, or I'm going to do a little gain phase and then I'm going to be on maintenance all winter. And I'm going to chill.
I'm honestly worried about you. You're coming in a little drug addict. Because I'm
worried about you, bro.
What are you worried about me for? Because I have a baby coming?
The Noah mania, the texts are real. It's
What
like
are you talking about?
you never know where you are on any given day. You never know where we booked.
Wait. What are you talking about?
You said rapid fire texts out of nowhere.
I sent three in a row when I'm excited about this project. And we've had some good clips, and I'm excited about it.
I'm excited about
And
it
I think
too.
sending 4 or 5 texts in a row with no response is normal behavior. Mike, thoughts?
I think it's great.
Thank you. I have a limited time. People don't understand.
Oh, Erica
I think we have
is
a
coming up.
Oh, yep. Sorry. She just
All right.
texted him.
Let's take a break and have our guest on.
Holy.
So we'll welcome in our guest, a comedian, podcast host, a former basketball player. She's the host of Finding Mr. Height and Shooters Gotta Shoot. Originally from Binghamton, New York. You can see her at clubs like the Comedy Cellar now. Very exciting. Welcome in, Erica Spera.
So kind. Thank you so much.
And you're one of our listeners as well. I understood you listened to a couple.
I listened.
Yeah.
I think this might be my kink, hearing men talk about trying to lose weight. I fucking love it. I'm
You've
like,
come
yeah,
to the
weigh
right
that
place.
food, you bitch. You got a food scale now? What's up?
Now, have you
Welcome to
ever
womanhood.
heard men talking about losing weight before?
It's so rare.
It's very rare.
It's so rare, so it's so enjoyable when men are struggling. They're like, this is really hard. I got 3,000 calorie limit. I'm like, oh, come on, Noah.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is like, I'm like, yeah, I'm in a cut, so I only get 3,000 calories, and every
Shut up.
woman around me is like, that's like my whole week.
Bro.
Like I did Weight Watcher. I've done everything, but I did Weight Watchers, and Alyssa was doing it too. And I just started.
It's terrifying.
And she was like, how many points do you get? And I was like, I don't know, like 29. And she was like, I get 7. And I was like, oh, okay. So,
Yeah.
here we are. So you were growing up, basketball player.
Yeah, I was a big athlete. I had
Big
like 12
athlete.
varsity letters when I graduated.
So
I was nuts.
growing up, did you have the same thing of me where it's like, you have 9 practices a week, eat whatever you want. You don't have to worry about it.
No, I did diets with my parents.
Whoa.
Yeah, I did. I did like Atkins with both my
Voluntarily,
parents. You somewhat voluntarily.
Was it
Well, I
like
would
a
be-
family, like a dad saying like, yo, we're all going on a diet?
So my mom cooked a lot.
'Kay.
So most of my meals were cooked. I brought my lunch every day, and I would bring like a giant bag of lunch. So
Like
she
Breakfast
cooked.
Club,
She
like-
was a volume cooker, you
Yeah.
know. So I'd have like a huge salad, so it would be filling, right? But I always like thought I was chubby, and I was chubby certain points. Like my junior year, I got in the best shape of my life. I almost had a 6-pack, and then going into senior basketball season, I was so pumped, and then I had a slight tear in my meniscus, and I was like, "Oh, you got to be kidding me!" But I always was like 10-ish pounds overweight. When I went to college, I dropped weight because I think it was like I didn't have good food around
Yeah.
all the time. But yeah, so my parents would be doing a diet and I would want to lose weight. And then my mom and I would lose like maybe 4 pounds and my dad would drop 15. And we would be so mad. So that's why men talking about struggling really makes me happy.
And then you would go right back. So if it was Atkins, it would be like, oh, we did that for a time,
Yeah.
drop some weight, and then go back to whatever else.
I would go back because I never lost a lot. So Atkins, I barely lost anything. Same with my mom. My dad dropped 15. Nutrisystem, I think I lost 5.
Oh, Nutrisystem sucks ass.
That's pretty
dude.
brutal. Yeah. But it's like dumb easy. You just make their little meal. My mom would just have a salad.
It's just small things, right? I've never seen it. Yeah. So it's like you get lasagna and you're like, this is 3 bites.
And I did the Weight Watchers. I'm like, I've done everything. The only diet I ever did that really worked was paleo.
Yeah.
But then that was good because it made me realize my problem was often dairy. So sometimes doing like extreme elimination diets actually help you because most diets were focused on cutting carbs completely. And then when you're an athlete, it makes no sense. You need carbs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that in college, everybody knew about protein. So we would all be like a bunch of meat and then we're like, are carbs bad? We didn't know like what to do. And then we had this meeting with a nutritionist and I swear to God, she was, God bless her heart, one of the stupidest people I've ever. She's like, you could take some peanut butter and put it on bread with jelly.
Yeah.
And we're like, uh-huh.
Yeah.
We kept waiting for like the thing. She was just listing foods because she was like, all right, you're all burning so many calories, you can eat whatever you want. Meanwhile, my coach junior year pulled 40% of the team aside and was like, you're fat, you're fat, you're fat. He told me I had to lose 15 pounds. I was 7% body fat at the time.
Really?
Wow.
So I just stopped lifting that summer. And like I came back and it looked like my head had grown because I like had no body anymore. And people were like, Jesus Christ. But
we've had such an opposite experience.
I was always I should have played football. It was easy to
You
put
would have
on
been
weight.
Yeah.
amazing left tackle. Dude.
Did your college coaches talk about your weight at all or no?
So I distinctly remember one time, it was the end of the season, like we were done, we lost like whatever round of the tournament. And he was talking to us, he's like, guys, he's like, the one thing we lack is strength. Like, I want all of you to try to put on 10 pounds this summer. And it's a room full of women.
They're like, how about 20?
Yeah. He's like, put 10 pounds muscle, like really lift, stick to the workouts we give you, whatever. We leave the room. He pulls me aside. He goes, not you. You stay where you're at. And I was like, what? And he goes, it's women, Erica. I got to tell everybody. I can't tell some women to gain. And so like, he's like, you stay where you are. You're quick. You're strong. He's like, you're great. And
That's
I was
a nice way to say that. But like,
Did it help your game to have 10 extra pounds on to throw girls around? Or
he
like...
said I was fine because I was a 4, so I wasn't the center.
Yeah.
So I was a good quick guard. So so he was like, no, where you're at's good. Because when I came to school, I dropped 10, 15. I got really cut. So he basically was like, you stay where you're at. You did what you needed to do. They need to put on muscle. But like the way we lifted was often different than the boys. We would do like circuit lifting.
Yeah. Well, we did a lot of sandbags. You ever do that or no?
I've never done a sandbag. I've done like kettlebells and shit.
100-pound sandbag on the back. You're going squats, walking lunges. Then you're like doing some like you just like have it on the whole time, and you're doing like 6 things in a row, and then you put it on your partner, and then he does it, and like that's your rest. It sucked.
Yeah, girls. It's hard to get girls to lift heavy. They think it's gonna make them big.
Yeah,
it's hard.
It's hard to do heavy lifting in like a structured team setting. Like I feel like you always hear circuit because it's like, okay, well then I can keep this massive group of people on a clock and we can do this thing efficiently. Whereas like what it should be is people taking different rest intervals, putting on different weights. Some people need an extended warm up. Some people this machine won't match their range of motion because they have an injury. Like for you, you're finding the exercises that work for you because you have some limiting factors with your ankles, with your neck. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So you do the stuff that makes you feel good, right? And it's had good results for you. Like in a team setting, you have to make sure that everybody's doing the same shit. A great program wouldn't do that. But like
I'm not convinced. I'm pretty convinced that we were just massively overtrained the entire time I was in college.
You are, yeah.
I believe it.
Because given how much we worked out, like we should have been able to play 9 consecutive games and not be tired.
Yeah.
And we were always tired. And it was like
really? We did 3 games a week.
We were I'm saying that I felt tired all the time, both in my life and during the practice and usually during the games. I had times when I felt tired during warm-ups. I was like, I'm so fucking tired. Other than senior year, we had a new coach and I was like, oh, this is like normal again, like high school. But
then how do we explain like the Miami Heat, who like are notorious for cutting weight and working out like fucking military style?
Because I bet they emphasize sleep too, but I don't know enough about it. But so you come into comedy, and I felt coming to comedy, I was like one of the few jocks, right? But I remember you coming to shows and stuff like. you had gone to the gym in between work and show.
Yeah, I did that for a few reasons. Part of it was to keep male comics away from me. But I was like, if I show up really sweaty and in my gym clothes, no one will bother me.
Still not going to work. Still not going to work.
Never going to work.
It still didn't work, but yeah, I gave big jock energy. I was also fresh out of college. So that was like, other than work clothes I bought for my new job, that was like my entire wardrobe.
And what are you doing now? Like
I'm actually full time now.
Oh,
sorry.
no, workout and eating.
Okay, so
you're doing great. First of all, we know you're doing great. But working out, eating, where are you at right now?
All right, so I have had a love-hate thing with macros personally.
Okay.
So I would love to get Will's opinion on this.
Love it.
Yes.
Okay. I did a macro program, and the first one I had like an intro to was an 8-week thing.
Okay.
It was very much a copy-paste diet for everybody. But I knew so many women that worked with this, trainer and her program and all this stuff, and were dropping weight like great, crazy, keeping it off. So I was like, oh shit, I'll try it, right? Mm-hmm. And it was like so strict with the eating, like not even supposed to put salt on your food situation. Any of the seasonings you had to have no salt in it, right?
We're big salt guys, so we don't
Yeah,
like that.
we like it as salt.
That's what I liked when I did paleo. It was one of the things they were like, you can salt your food because you're literally having nothing processed. So you're getting rid of so much sodium. I do this diet. I get to week 7. I've lost like 2 pounds. And part of this program, they put you in an accountability group with all the women, and you have to do 10,000 steps a day. And I'm tall, so I would be walking over an hour, not hitting 10,000 steps, in addition to living in New York City. And I would have to send a screenshot on my steps, and if you didn't hit the steps, she would give you more steps for the next day. And I remember being so mad. And I remember being like, I'm walking for like an hour and a half, not hitting 10,000. And then
How
I
is
found
that
out.
possible? I hit 14,000 every weekend. I'm with Henry. Like, we're like.
I don't know.
And what weirdly is that Alyssa always has fewer steps than me, even though I have longer legs than her. So maybe I don't know what's going on.
I don't know. I have no idea, but I was so frustrated.
What would you hit? You'd hit like
I would be like just under 10, and I'd always have an extra 1,000 every day. But I would just be like, I'm not doing that.
Was there like a shaming element to it?
Yeah.
Or was it?
I hated the group chat because the thing was working for everybody but me.
Yeah, dude, I don't.
And
like
I was
that
like, this is
fucking
actually
shit.
really depressing that everyone's like, man, I'm down 8 pounds.
Yeah.
And
Being
then
a woman
finally
sounds hard.
Well, I finally got the courage like week 7. I was like, is this just like not working for anyone in this chat? And then immediately I'm like messaged on the side by the person like, let's have a call, let's have a meeting.
Please don't blow up my spot and
Yeah.
make me look like I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And it's just like, it's harder than that.
Yeah. And you do the MyFitnessPal and she can look at it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have this meeting, and then she accused me of not following the program. I was like, girl, I am weighing all my food. I'm cooking all the things. I was like, I'm actually struggling to hit my protein goal. Like, I am pounding Greek yogurt like a fucking psycho.
But that's
And
dairy,
you don't
baby. That's
like
your dairy
dairy.
thing.
Well, that's what I was saying to her. I was like, I think dairy's a problem for me, and I have to have so much in order to have. Oh God, her fat was so low. I think it was like 30 grams of fat.
Yeah.
And what was your protein for the day?
My protein total, I think, was 170.
That's like my macros right now. I'm on
170 or
170, 45, and 210.
Yeah, but it
Mine's
was like
280.
Like I was doing a scoop of protein powder into my yogurt mixed like
Yeah.
twice a day, and I still wasn't hitting it.
You
And I was like, this
gotta
is
get
a
on my
lot.
pound of meat diet. I'm serious. 3 times a day I eat a pound of meat.
Yeah, but what was hard was when I did her program, I was having the same meals all the time. I started physically gagging when I was going to eat. Like I was like, I'm
You
done. I
need more
can't.
variety,
great.
dude. You
I
should just
couldn't.
do paleo.
Well, after that, I was like, I'm just gonna do paleo shit.
What
This isn't
other
working.
protein sources do you like?
Do I like? I love all protein. I could eat steak for
Can you eat like,
days.
can you eat
Everything.
like 5 eggs in the morning, or is that too many?
I could do eggs. Yeah.
Eggs,
I got
you
sick
could
of
do
that.
steak.
That program got me real sick of oatmeal and yogurt. I was like, I can't do it.
It's also like,
It's
yeah,
expensive,
because they
too.
put like a lady
Meat.
foods thing to it where it's just like
Just
ladies
eating
shouldn't be
steaks.
having salt. Ladies should be eating oatmeal and Greek
Yeah.
yogurt and like soft, floury shit. My thing is like, it's always about adherence. So if like macros work for you, great. If paleo works for you, great. Do what works for you and what makes you feel great. Don't fucking force it. I hate intermittent fasting because I see it blow back, but like intermittent
Yeah.
fasting has worked for Mike. Great. Never worked for me. And
Doesn't work for me
It didn't
either.
work for
It
me
makes me
either.
really hungry.
I tried.
I'm mad jealous.
jealous.
Yeah. I'm mad jealous of the people that works for. I do not understand it, but like,
it makes me in a bad mood all day, and then I eat a lot after.
yeah.
It makes me like a bad person. I'm
I
like,
think it's the night owls diet, man. It's like that rock star lifestyle people who
Yeah.
are into being up till like 2 or 3. Intermittent fasting makes sense to them.
Yeah, if you're a big nighttime eater, everyone's like, oh my God, I dropped 10 pounds. I'm like, you're just not eating a thing of ice cream at night. Like, you cut that out, you're fine.
Yeah. Well, I could do it at any time, really. I find a way to eat. I just don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that will be hard, though, to do I would do like a combo of things. I try to stay mostly paleo because I've been tested several times for PCOS. I have every symptom of it, except it doesn't show in my blood work.
What's PCOS?
It's polycystic ovarian syndrome. A lot of women have it. So the thing is for
massively
that,
underdiagnosed.
It is.
Go to another doctor. I learned that from Allison Leiby's show. Women.
Yeah, because I did after that girl's thing that failed, I went to this hormone, nurse practitioner, and she did all this blood work. And she was like, you have every sign of it, except it's not showing in the blood work. So she's like, let's treat you like you have it. So I got on some more herbal type remedy, not metformin. That's something a lot of women get on, which literally makes you have straight diarrhea. So a lot of people are like, man, I lost weight. I got on metformin. I'm like,
well, it's a diabetes drug.
Yeah,
right.
So
Supposedly a miracle drug.
That'd be tight. It's like Ozempic. Ozempic's
Yeah.
tight. I'm going to do that next. I'm doing that. I don't give a fuck.
But it's hard because they tell you have anti-inflammatory diets, which is gluten-free and dairy-free, and it makes it so hard to eat out, where there's barely anything you can eat out.
Once you get with Will after this pod, you can be our next guinea pig. For real.
Maybe. I would try it.
We'll do it, right?
Yeah.
I'm down. We could. We just talk about what you want and what you need, and then if I can help out, I'll help out.
Yeah, I feel like I in general do better, not so much with the tracking when I just eliminate.
Yeah.
When it's this is what I can have, this is what I can't have. You
Yeah.
give me especially at the start, give me 3 things, no desserts, no, I already don't really drink, so no drinking's easy, and nothing sugar.
Yeah,
with
that
drinks.
one's hard for me.
Oh yeah, that's another.
Although massively reduced though, massively reduced.
Yes.
Yeah, dude.
So one of the things that we talked about early was kind of people's expectations on me, because I'm the subject and he's the master over here, but people's expectations and social eating and just in general
he's a big
family
guy.
expectation, whatever.
Yeah, I have the
around-
family part. That's
People
tough.
Yeah,
wanna
so that's
watch
what I want to
him
ask you
eat.
about.
Oh.
Is that I've kind of watched you from afar. I know your mom and dad a little bit.
Yeah, you've been to my house twice where they put out food.
And listen.
They're
I can,
amazing people.
I can move into that house and just live with your parents. You
Yeah.
got a full court basketball court, pool. I'm there. Lights
And a
on the court.
spread, and we're talking delicious ass food.
and healthy. It is healthy, but there's so much of it.
But not only with food, but with your comedy and your career and everything. I know Italian families. My wife's Italian. You had to break free to some degree and be this is who I am as a comic. How did you do? I think you've done that. Have you done that yet?
Oh wait, you mean comedically or with weight?
Comedically.
'Cause,
No,
both.
comedically. Comedically.
Both,
Comedically.
honestly.
To be hey, this is what it is. Was that a process for you? Or were they always whatever you say on stage is fine, whatever you say on a mic is fine, whatever you say in your podcast is great. Hooray, family.
Okay, so
'Cause my family was not that way. They were what the fuck, Noah? Stop saying fuck.
I mean, I still get all that.
Yeah.
So you know how
You still get
everybody's
it now.
Well,
That's surprising to me.
okay. But the thing is, the first 5 years I did comedy, I was clean. And part of it was I was young.
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
kind of also felt I'm going to go up and do a sex joke. Everyone here is older than me and sexually more experienced than me.
Right.
I felt like everyone was going to look at me and be like, oh, you know how to fuck? You're 22. You know,
Right. Yeah,
so
yeah.
I was like, I'll just not touch that. And I also just wasn't dating a lot. So I naturally didn't have dating material. So I mostly talked about my family. And so for 5 years, my family would come to a lot of shows. They would send friends to shows, but there was no worry about me because I was clean.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden I hit this wall where I was like, I cannot think of any clean material, or it's dating and all this stuff. So I then started doing some stuff that was dirty. I obviously had stuff that I would swear, but I started being yeah, you guys don't have to come or you don't have to send people. But now where I'm struggling is there's the clip game. And I actually have a joke. I did chocolate sundaes, and I'll toot my horn. I did a great joke. I crushed. But
the
it's about
N-word?
dating a black dude, and they're going to post it. And they collab with you, and I'm like, you're dumb to not accept that collab and
Yeah,
get
'cause
followers.
it's a big deal.
But my brain is literally stressing of every fucking cousin of my mom and my dad follow me on Instagram, and I'm
Yes,
like, well, this
yes.
is gonna be a thing. This is just
So
gonna be a thing.
live in this. What are you
It's
going to
a
do?
thing, but they see
Tough.
you crushing, and
No.
the crush can override the message sometimes.
They
no?
with my mom, with their extended family, yeah. With my immediate family, no, because I did a show in my hometown, as I do.
Crush.
I started a joke that was dirty, filthy dirty, and all of a sudden in my brain I was like, fuck, because you don't want to bomb. Everyone
Yeah,
knows
yeah.
me. And I pivoted it to a different dirty joke that was just not nearly as bad. And the joke was literally me saying, I don't think I'm amazing at sex. It's not like the best thing I bring to a relationship, right? So you would think that's still in the lines of like nice Italian
That's
girl.
actually a nice Italian.
Right?
That's like a great sentiment.
Okay.
Yeah.
But there's a line in it where I say, I'm not prude. I'll blow you, but I'm not going to blow your mind. And it murdered. After the show, my mom was like almost in tears. And she was like,
Angela.
And my dad, they were so mad. And she was like, I can't believe you would like say that on stage, not only like in front of our friends, but like at all.
Ooh.
And I was like,
How recent was this?
I was 27. So I'm
this is
32
like-
now.
Yeah, so this is big. This is a big like at Christmas moment. This is like.
Well,
a
I just was like, I'm
Yeah.
27. I was like, I've had sex. Like, I've had sex. I was like, and then my
Yeah.
dad was like, when you started comedy, you wanted to be Jerry Seinfeld or Brian Regan or Kathleen Madigan. And now you're being Nikki Glazer and Amy Schumer. And he was like, when you look at your career, because that's the path you want to go. And I was like, and part of me was
Yeah,
like, I mean,
rich.
they're very successful.
Yeah, I do too. I'm like rich, yes. But what I don't get is like, so I have the same battles with my family. Although I've almost broken free by I'm gonna be dirty. Don't come if you don't want to. And also, I'm not even that dirty. I'm really, and you're not
actually
either.
aren't.
And you're not either. But
You're-
like,
even
I
when you
don't-
were single, not with Alyssa, you really were not that dirty.
Thank you. But I don't even want to think about saying fuck or shit at all. I don't want it in my, because I might do crowd work. I want to just be free up there. And it's actually been a big and this is related to like getting in shape too. But I did a joke in front of my Aunt Lisa, who rules, who comes to like so many shows, which is like not even really part of my set anymore. It's a joke about edging myself and then like coming a lot. Like the whole main part of it is like, it's like so much came out. It was like when you go for nachos at a ball game and you think it's empty and then it's not empty and it all it's like really like a lot.
Just an analogy,
And she just sat there and took it. And then she quietly whispered to my cousin, it was like, some things you shouldn't talk about on stage. But she didn't say anything to me other than good set. So I don't know. I feel like this is related to like when you can let go of all this, you can like fucking break through and just be yourself. And then it makes also all this stuff getting easier. Am I making any sense?
The self-hate is the thing that you need to release, Noah. Like that's like you're making progressive steps at being more comfortable being
You meet a
Noah.
comic that loves himself, the brutal. Go back to LA.
Because that's the
fuck outta
stupidest
here.
fucking shit in the world, man. Which is that's like what you were talking about, Mike, earlier with like the fat guy thought, right? Which is like to drag somebody else down. You will be funny and be the healthiest, best version of you, and it's no exceptions.
But you know what I'm talking about. There's a vibe of comics who are just like.
Oh, well, there is a correlation between comics that make it. There is a correlation between comics that like make it, are huge, and really don't have a very big, close family. And I think there's something to it where like they always are fully being themselves and there's not at all a thought of like, what if they hear this?
Yes.
Now, the plus side I have, people will be like, do you get nervous going on stage? I'm like, if I don't know anyone in the room, I am so excited.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I have had to perform in front of my family for years where I'm like, oh, my family's not here. I'm like, let's fucking go. I can just do whatever I want to do.
And they go to enough comedy and your family, because you run shows up there by
yeah,
your
they
family,
love comedy.
they know that it's actually really hard to write good material
It's really
they
hard to
don't.
perform.
and to do well and to be good at comedy. And you're up there doing well and you might be doing an hour in front of them and you go, I'm not going to blow your mind. And that's the one thing they pick out.
Oh, my mom literally said to me, because I was like, I started the joke, I have to finish the joke. And she was like, I would have rather you just bombed than not say that.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, Dad, you're never gonna understand that part. I was like, I'm not gonna bomb on purpose to make you happy. That's ridiculous. So I was like, the pressure I have that everyone here knows me? Like, I can't do crowd work. Everyone knows me. I can be like, what do you do? They're like, I was your teacher. Like, they know.
Also,
You know who I am.
cool people are there actually to have fun.
Yeah.
And they'll go, wow, this girl I used to teach biology to has this really dirty joke. That's amazing. That might be the best part of their fucking year up there. Who knows?
Well, the joke crushed.
Yeah, of
no
course.
one else even thought of it. Also, because I would host, so I was first, so they would forget most of the stuff I said. But
Yeah.
it's so infuriating that my mom was like, "You were like the dirtiest comic tonight," and I'm like, Anthony DeVito did a joke about making his girlfriend come, and I watched you and Dad laugh your ass off. So it's like, don't even try to be like I was the filthiest whatever up there, because like it's like if I could have both, I would.
Yeah.
Like, I would love to be a Brian Regan. He's my favorite comedian. Bill Burr's favorite comedian was Brian Regan, and he tried to be him, and then finally was like, I'm just not that.
I don't think Bill Burr's dirty either. He says fuck a lot. Do you think Bill Burr's dirty?
No, he doesn't talk about sex. Sex is what makes it dirty.
But he has jokes about dating and stuff, like back when he was like single in his early bits.
Do you think that?
But he has stuff that's dicey, and Brian Regan's not dicey. So
it's like a double standard because like Anthony is a sweet boy.
1,000,000% double standard.
Anthony is a sweet boy, like no matter what, and he can tell the dirtiest joke in the world. But it's Anthony is the sweetest boy in the world.
Also Italian.
Yes.
But I wonder if part of it too is like they knew like I hadn't like had a boyfriend. So I think there's a weird element of that where I'm not like when I'm having sex with my boyfriend.
So if you said, if I'm
knowing
blowing my husband, she would be like, that's
I don't know.
okay?
I don't know. But I feel like if I had sex jokes about my husband, there's suddenly a like, oh well, you know, you're married.
Yeah.
So you're allowed.
Because
so just change the wording.
Because like I have like heard my parents have sex before. And it happened enough
Me
times
too.
where I was like,
Your parents.
bro, no, please no. Please say no. Because I had a talk with them. I was like, I bring comedians here. I was like, I cannot be worried about a comedian friend of mine hearing you two.
They're that loud? That's amazing.
Listen, we don't need to get into the details. But it hit the point where I was finally like, I'm not talking to you, Mom. I want to talk to Dad. Because he wouldn't talk to me about it. And I was like, sit down. And I was so mad.
Yeah.
And his whole argument was just, we're married.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm home for one night. How about that? How about like, and then you're like, why don't you come home more?
I'm on Sunny's side.
See,
That's a big house, too.
well, you also have a baby now, so I get it.
I'm saying it's your dad's house. He is married, and you are home for one night. But you know your parents.
But I was like, I don't know.
Their house.
Like God intended. Like Jesus intended. You become a dentist and you bang your wife and you're loud.
Well, anyway, I guess if I have a dirty joke and a thing, if I'm married, I'll just be like, well, I'm married. If they're like, we don't like that blowjob joke, I'll be like, but I'm married.
But now you're a dating expert on your show.
Yeah.
And then what is their? We don't have to talk about your parents the whole time, but what's their reaction to you going? This is a good thing to do on a first. I mean, I don't.
Yeah, my mom listens like a hawk because she loves like getting the information. But then she still will like make comments to me. Like one time we talked about something with sex, and my mom was like, "You know, Eric, it's like porn." And I was like, "It is not porn. You have clearly never watched porn." And I was like, "Duh." I was like, "If you want to listen, but I don't want to hear any feedback." Like I was like, "I don't record the pod for my mom.
Yes.
It's for single women.
Amen.
It's not for you." My dad, I think, listened to half an episode, and he was like, not for me. But because the point of that show, too, is I came out about like having herpes in like the early episodes. So also when that show happened and I did a sex joke, I think it was just like two kind of big things that happened, and they were like, we don't know how we feel about this. And then suddenly my mom was like, you just like told everyone you had herpes. You didn't even run it by us. I was like, I don't have to
That's
do
true.
that.
That's a good, yeah.
Like I was like, it's my choice to do that. But her worry, and it's always been like, it's that classic Italian mom worry where it's like, they want you to have a boyfriend, they want you to be seeing someone, they want you to be married. And now that my brother and sister like live with their partners and my brother's getting married, it's like, fuck. Now the focus is like extra on me where it's like, and what about you? You're the one left.
You need to get your siblings to have grandkids, and then it pulls focus, and then you can just do your own thing and be the fun aunt.
Yeah, my brother moved into their neighborhood, so it's actually helped a little bit.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, literally everybody loves
once
Raymond
the
style.
grandkid comes out, your mom will just be laser focused. You actually might like crave some of her.
No, I think I'll be okay.
Now, how is we're all out of the dating game, right? Mike, you've been out for a while. We're married.
Oh
with,
yeah,
with,
you guys
with
are all
young
relationship
boys.
guys.
Is it hell out there? Is it pure hell, or is it not as bad as it
depends.
seems from the outside? Because it just seems like people don't give a fuck anymore about anything. Common decency. I don't know. It seems bad.
Post-pandemic dating game, I guess I'm very curious about. Is there
You met your
anything
girl right
different?
before?
Right before. Dated during.
Okay. Well, for me, I feel like online dating has never been like, I don't want to say my strong suit, but I've just never been successful where like anyone I met online, I ended up really dating. Like anyone I ended up dating, even just for a few months, was always someone I met in real life. So it's like, if you look at the data and you look at your patterns, I'm like, why am I even wasting my time like with this app? Because if you really ask me, like, how many times did you meet a guy from an app and like really were excited for a second date?
What's your height setting at? On your
What am
app?
I height setting at?
For the guy.
You have to pay for it, by the way, to filter it.
Oh, really?
I don't do one, but if I do one, I think I put 5'9".
Okay.
I'm 5'11".
Yeah.
I'm not against dating a man shorter than me.
But do you counsel women on your show to not put? I've been fed some of this shit on Instagram where it's like most men aren't tall, and then you go, I only want 5'11" and above. Now you're taking yourself out of 85% of men. What's your stance on that?
Well, most men are lying on the app. So there's also this weird game.
Wait, there's a great joke about this. Who's the guy? He did JFL like 2 years ago, but he goes, I am 5'7", I am 5'7", I am 5'7", and like most 5'7" men, I am 5'6".
I want to say, I'm going to fuck up his name. It's Joe KW something.
Yes.
I've
so
seen it.
funny. Such a funny joke.
It's true though. But so my co-host of Finding Mr. Height, she has a height filter, and I'm actually trying to get her to lower it.
What is
And
her
she's
height
struggling.
filter?
So she's 6 feet. I'm 5'11".
She's 6 feet tall?
She's 6 feet tall.
Wow.
And she played, I know. She went to UPenn. She played volleyball.
Yeah. If she played basketball at Penn, I'd be really fucking excited.
Well, but she said she started doing the filter because she was like, a lot of times when guys are shorter than you, they make you feel weird about it. I said, yeah. I was like, but you can't let like a few dudes take away all these other guys. But same thing as me. She's like, any guy I've ended up dating that was shorter was someone I like met in real life. So she's not anti.
Yeah.
But I literally had her do it because I was like, on Bumble, if you can see your likes if you pay for it, then when you filter, it will make your likes smaller or bigger. And so in New York City, I remember I got the filter and I was like, all right, let me do like 6'3" and up. It's like 5 people. And then you go, let me do 6'2", and it's like 10 people. 6'1", it's like maybe 100. And then I did 6 feet. I swear to God, it was 1,000.
Wow.
So a lot of men really are rounding up just to hit the 6 foot mark because they know a lot of women filter at 6.
It's like selling an apartment. You go, you'll list it right under a million. You don't
and then women are mad. They're like, well, he's 5'11", like he put 6 feet. And I was like, I understand.
They come with a tape
What the
measure. They can
fuck?
tell it.
Yeah,
So my
yeah.
wife can't tell distance for
See?
shit. She can't measure for shit.
I'm actually someone who can tell because I'm a measuring stick.
Yeah.
If you're taller than me, then you're taller than 5'11". But me and my co-host have gone on dates where men are like, nah, you're lying. I'm like, we are not lying. I had a guy be like, you're 6'2". I was like, I am not 6'2". Like, you're lying to yourself.
You're like,
That's the ultimate gaslight. You don't know how tall you
people
are.
always tell me I'm lying, but they say that I'm 6'5" when I'm actually 6'7", which is a weird one because I'm like,
That is
both
weird.
are really tall. What do you care? Like,
Yeah, well, it's true though. At a certain my old co-host Molly on Shooters, she's 5'4", and she admittedly was like, after a certain height, I really can't tell exactly how tall a guy is, and that's the same for me with a guy who's shorter. I'm like, after
What
5'8", it's a total guess for me. I don't know.
what happened to Molly? But she moved back home. What happened? to
Molly
her?
just has a good job.
She's
you know
out of
what
the
I mean?
game. That's what I figured. I'm like,
she just does a great job. She kept getting promoted. She's
promoted,
killing
right.
it. She was like, I'm happy doing other stuff. I'm like, yeah, you know.
she shot her way to the top there.
Yeah,
She
there's no
stood her
bad
shot.
blood. I love Molly.
Yeah, shout out to Molly. Shooter's got a shoot
Anyway.
original host, and we're right at the time we got to start doing
Let's
clippies.
do some clipping
Now,
in.
my best friend, getting a shout out, John Anderson said, "Shut the fuck up, Noah," during the clip. So let's play the
you have to hear
clip,
him.
and then yes, you're a veteran. We're still dumbasses. So
Ah, yes.
Look at people's pants. My shit's tight. Your fucking bank account's tight. Okay, my shit's short, right? But guess what? You fucking come up short every fucking day on your promises and your commitment. Some of you today, you're not going to participate. You know why? Because you never do. You think slow, you act slow, you don't write shit down, you're already fucking around on your phone. Why did you come? Today's conversation is only for the 1%ers. I'm sorry if they told me to deliver a message to everybody, I'm not. You can get that shit for free on YouTube.
This guy
Wow.
helps people sell cars.
would you date?
Sell cars?
Would you date him or?
Literally, he made no sense. I was
Oh,
like,
that's one of his better ones.
He watched the Alec Baldwin scene in Glengarry.
that,
way too many
none of
times.
those thoughts were complete at all. He's like,
My
your pants are tight.
Your
They're
bank
short.
account's
You're short.
tight.
You're short on rent. I'm like, where? What? I was like, is this what's in mail algorithm?
You never do.
Yeah, a lot of that, and he'll bring guys up to the front and be like, "Does this bother you?" And he'll like pinch like this much fat in them, and then they'll be like, "Uh huh," and he's like, "No, it doesn't. It wouldn't be there if it did." And like he's great.
Jeez.
I saw a
that
clip
he-
of him where he was saying, "If you don't have a 6-pack, you're fired."
Yeah.
He
Fire?
goes, legitimately, nobody works for me unless you have a 6-pack. And I was like, this guy's out. Like,
Wait, this is a
I said, you don't work for me unless you have 4-inch nipples, because that's what he's got. Like, he's disgusting, this guy.
Really? What?
What a
I like
fucking
him.
loser.
Wait,
I like
Cool.
this guy, dude.
this is motivation speech to people that work for him that sell cars.
Yeah.
That is
So you want this
absolutely-
minivan or not?
You guys got to look at the Reddit. Look up Andy Elliott Reddit, and there will be other car salesmen just being like, "This guy's a scumbag. He left us $75,000 in debt. Like he's the man, dude."
Yeah, he rules.
The only good line he had was, you're not going to commit because you never do.
Yeah.
That was the only clear line he had.
Yeah. Well, I like that his pants. his pants are tight, your pockets are tight, or
Yeah.
something. Did
Your
that
bank
mean?
account's tight.
But like, did he mean that like tight or like
Like
like low?
That's what I was confused. The whole beginning, I was like,
Like
is
it
that
is
bad?
tight. Yeah.
I was raised by used car salesman, so I take great offense to this guy.
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
Oh, I love this guy.
Boy.
You can get a wicked set of abs with a small daily investment. You can get a decent set of arms with a small daily investment. This is what the fitness dailies are. You can develop any part of your physique with investing just a few minutes per day. This is all I've ever done for my core, 10-minute ab dailies, 10 rapid sets of leg raises, 1 every minute, 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. Or you could hit a season of daily arm curls. All you have to do is pick up a set of weights and just don't allow yourself to put them down until you have 100 curls in the bag on each arm. Do this every day for 1 season of fitness dailies, 90 days, and you will stack compound interest.
Now,
Wow.
as a lady that hosts a dating pod, does this type of gentleman, what kind of vibes does he give off?
You mean like, would I date him?
Yes.
Question? To be honest with you, a lot of women don't like that ripped.
That ripped?
No,
Let's
because-
talk about that ripped because Noah and I
I
have.
love it. I love that.
We
I
love this
it.
guy's body.
I love it.
Yeah.
Like, we really like this guy's body. We think that his personality is not so
And
great.
I do that ab workout. That's my only ab workout. I get on that thing and I try to do 5 minutes,
Yeah.
but I can go 40 seconds, 30, 20, like not even 10.
This guy
That's
could go all
it's
fucking day.
It's amazing. But first of all, his body's perfect.
Beautiful
His
body.
body's insane.
But the idea of training every single day is also wrong. So that's when people probably get confused.
Yeah. Now, a lot of ladies say that they don't want that much
they want it.
ripness, but
They
then
want
then
No,
guys will
no,
say,
a lot don't.
now will you give the rebuttal to why ladies don't want that much ripness?
Okay. First of all, it often makes us feel fat.
Ah.
Point blank.
Wow.
So it's the same thing with like if you go skinny guy versus chubby guy, 90% of women want the chubby guy. They don't want the skinny guy.
Having been chubby and been skinny, I don't find that to be
Listen,
true.
You don't?
I was-
But you always had a girl.
I was
Wow.
chubby
So did
and tall.
you.
I should have been killing the game.
And so is Mike.
I
No,
think
like-
that I would have had. I agree that the body doesn't matter as much, but getting my foot in the door helps when I was in a little bit better shape.
See, I don't think that's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a difference between like being in like with your shirt on.
Yes.
Shirt off, it's like it's a little intimidating.
And
Yeah.
that
But
door
also like
was her
from our
vagina.
own but from our own knowledge of trying to lose weight, we know how hard it is. You see a body like that and you're like, there's no way that man eats anything fun.
Yeah, like he spent. It just says two into himself, right?
You have to be a little psychotic to have a six pack, I'm not gonna lie.
That type of six pack. I think like if you're a run, I'm speaking of course for all women now, like I always do. But
As you do.
if you have like an athlete, he runs, he lifts, he's in good shape, whatever. But like that level of like just like veins on veins at like carved out, you go, all you do is your fitness dailies.
Yeah,
brah.
that's why people like that date like bodybuilding women.
Yeah.
Because they're so
gay.
like you have it's so hard when you date someone to just like not gain weight because all you're doing is like eating together and having fun, and usually you're both each other's excuse for having fun.
Yeah.
Like any relationship I've ever been in, I even dated a dude who barely ate, and I still ended up gaining weight somehow because it was like when you get together, you're like, let's get the French toast and like go crazy, you know.
Yeah, and
But
then
when
you
you're by
had his
yourself, you're
leftovers,
not.
right?
Yeah, or you eat. Ugh, this is the worst. You tend to match how much your man eats, so your eating goes up. So if you naturally don't eat that much,
Really?
yeah, you do.
Women are fucking crazy, man.
It's not
that,
on purpose.
Cut that part.
It's not
That's
on purpose.
insane.
Clip
But
it.
no, but
Yeah.
obviously every woman's like, oh, that guy's hot, and we're not saying we wouldn't fuck that guy.
Yeah, yeah.
But
you
truly,
couldn't be in a relationship with that guy.
it would be hard. You would have to be a very confident person.
Can you describe the sexual thrill of touching a ripped six pack on a man?
Yeah, I've dated many men that like
Yeah.
looked like
Look,
that.
many men that look like that?
Yeah, that were like
Many
ripped.
men.
That ripped?
Maybe not as jacked, but like that had abs and were very, very in
I feel
shape.
like this is when I
have.
tell my friends where I'm like, my high school girlfriend, she looked like a Victoria's Secret model. Spot on. And then you see a picture where you're like,
my ex is literally modeling.
oh, wow.
He started modeling after we broke up. So
I'm not trying to doubt you. I just think he's among the most elite bodies I've ever seen.
He is. He is. I'm saying they didn't have as much muscle here. But like the abs and the
Abs, yeah.
but I didn't care. But every single one of my female friends, when I'd bring that dude around, they'd be like, I don't know how you date that guy. And I'm like, why? And they're like, I would just feel so fat all the time.
It's the same shit as like if you're dating a girl that's like super hot to all your friends, and then the anxiety of like, well, yeah, that's like my girlfriend, that's my day-to-day girl, and then all your friends are just like, and you have to be like, you know.
It's the best. It's the best feeling. It's the best feeling in the
It's
world.
almost like an opposite anxiety where you I think a lot of women will think people see you together and go, how did she get him? I love that feeling.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know how to do that. Isn't it crazy?
I did love being like a schlubby guy with a more attractive girl. I was just like, you ain't got it like me. That's a great feeling to have.
All right, we got to get some more clips here, people. Oh, yeah, this is kind of a boring one.
Nothing on the surface of the earth that will remove calories from your body or burn fat at the rate that getting in cold water will.
Here's a list of things that burn more calories than a 3-minute ice bath. Brushing your teeth, getting up to water your houseplants, even scrolling through your ex's Instagram for approximately 15 minutes. Do you get the point? Sitting in an ice cold bath increases your metabolic rate by about 1 to 2 calories per minute. But that doesn't sound sexy enough. And Gary is all about that sex appeal, telling people that ice baths melt fat off your body better than any exercise, along with curing depression and any other problem that the world has. Gets a lot of views on social media, but you know better than that. Even the best tools in the world are usually only good at 1 or 2 things, not everything. Take intermittent fasting, for example, which is good at helping people eat.
So
this was when we were cold boys.
no, but I'm still a cold. Well, I'm not. We did cold showers for like 2 weeks, and then I just got sick. But it does feel good. But I think that this is the biggest scam on all social media weight loss stuff. Is everybody wants it to be one easy thing that people really, you know what the dream is as a guy who has to watch what he eats, that the doctor goes, we found the tumor. That's what's been making we can pull it out of you.
How many times have you had your thyroid tested?
0, but I have a lump on my neck.
I feel like that is a very common thing with ladies.
Oh, I've gotten it tested so many times.
Yeah.
You're
really?
like, something must be wrong with my thyroid. I don't know how I gained 10 pounds.
Should I do that?
No.
Well, what your program you're doing is working, so no, you don't have a problem.
I know.
It's when you feel like you're trying and nothing happens that you have a problem.
But that's
anyway,
the thing.
the
The
video.
fantasy is that everybody just wants like the cayenne pepper lemon juice thing.
Well, it's even the videos that go, do this exercise to trim your arms.
Yeah.
It's like there isn't one exercise that's going to trim one specific area, right? It's 75% diet.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
I love working out way more than dieting.
Well, I mean, you can just be like the guy that exercises a lot, and then you just kind of eat what you're doing right now, which is eat healthy. It's lean proteins, whole grains, fruits, veggies. You're straight.
I'm doing great. I'm feeling good about it.
Isn't it crazy though that losing weight is often like the most simple lifting?
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy? Like when I did like some other program that actually worked, and I kept texting the guy. I was like, I gotta be honest, I really don't believe this is gonna make me lose weight. He was like, just stick with it and it will.
We didn't talk about do you lift? Or do you just
I got back
run?
into lifting. To be honest, since college, I was not super into it. But this is also the female thing. It's all cardio. It's all cardio, hit workouts, like cardio to get thinner.
Come on,
No, now you go to gyms and like women are all up in the weights. But for years, I think I was burnt out of the like 2-a-day, 3-a-day basketball shit I had to do. I just was like, ugh.
The trend right now is bodybuilding.
Yeah, and the women be naked in the gym, which is cool. The clothes have gotten out of control. We talked about
it. Is, dude, the absurdity. The clothes have gotten out of control.
Great.
The filming's out of control. I can't stand the filming.
Yeah.
The workouts in general from like there's all these big booty boot camp explosion. Like I see girls in my gym working out just their glutes. For fucking like an hour and a half, hitting it from every second. Like I'm just like, that's cool, but that has downstream impacts to like the rest of your life.
But it's the same thing as this video. It's like, get your ass big. And it's all ass shit.
Will, why are you watching women for an hour and a half work out their butts? How do you know the time so precisely?
Because I'm in there for 2 hours.
They're in the TikTok leggings. They want you to look.
I'm trying to work my ass.
I work out with the two same women every day, even though we're not like working out together. We're like in there at the same time for the same amount of time.
Do you give each other the head nod?
No, I don't. I don't speak to anybody at the gym.
Wait, I have a question though. I heard this. I don't know if it's true. Something like if you want to lose weight, they say work the biggest muscles of your body. So often if you actually do legs just like twice a week, you're more likely to lose weight than doing.
I say yes to that.
Not doing any lifting like of the legs specifically.
Heavy.
No, but like your quads and your glutes.
Yeah,
like,
but like you should
is
be
that
squatting.
True?
Wait,
say that again.
Like, so basically, like a lot of like comics when they get into moving, you lift with your legs, right?
Yeah.
They drop weight, and I've heard that if you work your bigger muscles, you will lose more weight than if you work smaller ones.
Oh, so like emphasizing the good things about your body as opposed to like the all around.
No.
Adding more muscle
This is just
to your
about
body.
losing weight.
Squatting. Ready for.
This is not about adding muscle. Stop putting words in.
No, because that's what makes you burn the weight. Is that you add some muscle, your metabolism speeds up, you have more lean mass. So
you are taking completely different direction than what I was just trying to ask.
Because your legs are bigger, right? So if you go and build some leg,
does that make you lose weight?
Round the clock losing weight, yes.
If you do build muscle, yes, but I don't see the connection between lifting and losing weight. They're different things.
What the fuck have I been doing for a whole season then, Will?
You've been maintaining muscle while in a calorie deficit because you already have a shit ton of muscle. We're just losing fat around it. Yeah, you might have recomped a little bit, but like that's the thing. Is like, and who knows? Male comics just doing fucking anything other than being lazy pieces of shit.
Well, basically,
will probably
it's like,
get them good results.
Twice a week you only lifted arms versus twice a week you only lifted legs. You'll lose more weight doing the legs. That's the question I was asking.
I believe like if it's compound movements and like the legs have more demand, so it's like if you're doing squats, that has more. That's a stabilizing through here. It puts more load on your spine. It's more systemically fatiguing. It takes more calories. Yeah, I buy that.
Okay.
Boom.
So it is true.
Yes,
So it is true.
Yes.
Just curious.
Erica, you should be squatting heavy, pull down, bench. Get out of there.
Just do what I'll fucking do. Juggernaut AI.
We'll talk after this. You might be our next guinea pig.
Am I?
We're gonna put you on a free program, and we're just gonna have you call in and go, "What's up?"
I will say I really like that you started a podcast, something you're not consistent with, to try to hold you accountable for something else you're not consistent with. It's very, very impressive. You were like 2 negatives will equal a positive this time.
It's the most comedian thing, which is like you could just go to the gym, or you could like start a whole podcast about it. And lose 7 pounds.
If it makes you do it, then it works.
You're doing great, buddy, and
Thanks,
we're
man.
proud of you.
It's it's interesting to me too because like I've gotten in trouble on my pod saying things about like my weight gain that I've had and trying to lose weight, and it's like anti-body positivity apparently.
Oh fuck that! Like
Which
it's
is so
however
annoying.
you feel about how you feel.
It's so annoying. But that's everyone's like, well, I look like you. You're saying I need to lose 10 pounds.
Yeah,
and it's
I
like,
am.
well, yes.
I'll
No, I'm
say
kidding.
it.
I'm kidding.
I'll say it.
But exactly, you're like, I'm talking about me. But it's like body positivity has made me fat, and I don't like it.
Yeah,
It's annoying. It's very like you cannot go to like a bachelorette party or anything and be like, oh, I'm on a diet, I'm gonna eat something else. It's like you're shaming everyone else who either is bigger than you or not dieting.
That's insane, and I'm
It's
anti that.
fucking true.
And I agree that happens. It's not correct. It's not the right way the world should be. It's absolutely insane. And full stop.
It's a very complicated thing to kind
I'm
of
thinking everybody up. I knew it. Oh, thank you.
Do you, how have like you dealt with that when somebody do you even respond if somebody says like you're body shaming?
No one has said I'm body shaming. They're saying like,
why are you body
things I
shaming? You say
say-
make them feel bad about themselves.
no, they say things I say are just essentially wrong, and they're not things you're supposed to say anymore. And I'm struggling to think of an exact example, but it basically is like anyone who is bigger than you doesn't want to hear you at all talk about like your struggles with your like,
I've
weight.
even gotten that from this pod. I have like friends that like are why does being ripped matter, and it's just like I don't know, dude. It's just
It
kind of
feels
like all
awesome.
I think about. I think about well, for me, I've kind of shifted my focus from just purely aesthetic to like longevity, and you can't tell me that like being healthy and having strong muscles and a strong heart is not a good thing. You just can't.
Yeah, but it's a hard position to be in though. If you are like, I was on a bachelorette and there were a couple women that were like plus size and clearly like a bigger size than I am. Mm-hmm. And like the food that was planned for the bachelorette, I was like gonna kill someone because it was just so unhealthy.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't eat like this for 3 days. I'll just feel like
and
shit.
you're boozing.
But I had a car, so I was like, after the first day where I was like, that was awful, I can't do it. 3 more days, I like went and got some groceries for some shit for just me to eat. But you like have to do it, and I was like, oh, I got some extra food for the house. Like I had to make it this like. You just can't complain. You can't sit there and be like,
women
I can't
always
have bagels.
No, I get it. I get like not wanting to like if you're doing a bunch of like fat jokes and there's like a really big guy in the audience.
Oh yeah, that's
for
mean.
example, like that. I
Yeah.
understand that, but you can always go like, I personally want to eat this thing. Period.
But it's
That's
like
fine.
a group mentality.
That's what I'm saying. Is like
Yeah.
you
It's
as a
like
woman,
if
it
the
seems like you have to
bride
fight
is
that.
not dieting for her own wedding.
Yeah.
I can't open my mouth and say I'm dieting for her wedding. I'm looked at like a fucking monster.
Yeah. Well, brides are.
But I'm like, how about this? Everyone here lives with a partner, and I'm single. So guess what? I am dieting.
yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
fluctuate all you want when you have somebody with a ring on your finger, but
Right.
like, until you do, I'm like, leave me alone.
Yeah, we're in a different sport. You
Yeah.
guys can do what you want.
But then you got to like change your lingo. So I just made it protein. I was like, I need more protein in the morning. I'm going to get cranky. Otherwise, I get hungry. I eat a big breakfast. Like, I'm saying all these lies that I'm just like, yo, if I have bagels 3 days in a row, I'm going to fucking murder everybody in this house.
I look at it like this. I've been in great shape. I've been fat. I've been great looking the whole time. But I grew up a chubby kid who grew. Then I was in out of shape. I am allowed to say these words because
That's how I feel. I got called
I'm a
fat.
reformed. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I get those. It's like the N word. Okay. Say it as often as possible. That's my. Yep. The same thing. I'm one of these people, so I can say what I want. Clip that, producer Mike.
Please don't.
But that's what I'm like. I'm just talking about myself. I feel better when I'm in better shape, and it's hard. And if you're bigger than me or smaller than me, go fuck yourself. I don't care.
I do think, well, it sounds like that's like the double-edged sword. Like female weight loss is there's this community aspect to it a lot of times. Whereas dudes, it's like the loneliest path in the world. It's me and Noah, and like Mike will like casually admit sometimes he's like, oh yeah, you guys have kind of influenced me for the better a little bit. But
It's
like
all
we're
secret
just
text.
alone.
Yeah.
It's just like just a community of dudes who don't have each other, right? And at least I don't know. But there's like that fascist element with women where it's just like you got to be doing the same fucking shit. Like, what the fuck,
It's
man?
group mentality. It's the same thing like if you show up and it's like, what are we wearing? Are we dressing up or dressing chill? And everybody's in sweats and the one girl doesn't listen and shows up like looking good. You're all like, what the fuck, dude? Like, we're doing sweats tonight. Like, fuck off, you know? But I still think dieting feels really lonely because your social meter, social things you do goes down. It just automatically goes down.
It kills your I think it's a social killer. And we've had many talks about this. Oh,
well,
no,
you do because of the drinking.
Drink mezcal and fucking eat a piece of chicken.
Yeah.
Shut up.
He just wants to drink 40 beers and hate himself. Like, that's the big mission.
I'm on Will's side.
No, I want to drink. Like, we did the show down Atlantic City. I was watching the headliner perform, and I had my nice 2-3 beers, and it was actually 3.
Which is me winning. I've influenced you for the better.
And I drove home, and I felt great. And that was actually how I recalibrated. But no, I don't want to be sober fitness in the woods, fucking drinking chai tea.
I didn't advocate for that.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. That's what we're going to get back to as a society. Gray area thinking. It's okay if Erica wants to diet on your bachelorette. You're a sexy fat bride. Good for you. Good for you, you sexy fat woman. You know what I'm saying?
Terrible.
What do you mean? That's not bad. I'm just saying,
That's not what I'm saying.
Everybody can feel good in their own body, but it's okay to be like, I'd rather be in a little bit better shape. Those are both two honest statements that are not, what's the word I'm looking for? Mutually exclusive.
There we go.
Yeah. There
Thank
you
you.
it
That
together,
got me
folks.
fired. That got me. Do we have any more clips? What time? How are we doing time wise?
Oh, we got to know.
We're at about an hour 10.
Oh shit. Okay. So wait, let's just watch this one because let's get Erica's reaction to this. Because
oh god.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see your hand. Put 2 fingers like this. Do really straight arms. Good. Biggest middle split you can
Have
do.
you seen this
and
before?
Stay in it the whole time. Bring your arms closer to your ears. Tuck
It's
your
called
chin in,
acro.
and then start going up. Start lifting your hips up. Keep your middle split. Good. Keep going. You can look at me now.
So it's like,
Good. Keep going. Go farther. Keep lifting your hips. Keep lifting.
No,
keep
you don't have to
lifting.
hear the audio
Right
for
about there.
this.
Good. Now try to freeze here.
So he does this with multiple chicks in the park, and he'll just have them come to him.
It's like gymnastics and yoga. He just like flips these babes around.
Yeah.
All the comments are like, "Don't let him near your girl. This is sexual as hell." Would you let a dude do this to you?
No,
Slash?
same chick. And it gets very intimate. Yeah, like face to face.
Yeah. Good. Twist. Yeah. Good.
I've seen aerial stuff, but not like the training of it with a random guy in the park.
Twist.
I mean, this is Riz factor 1 million. You get flipped around by this guy, it's game over, right? Like, right? This is he has a YouTube or an Instagram that's just flipping chicks around in the park, and I'm like, he bangs all of them. I know he does.
Not necessarily. I don't know.
It's so
He
innocent.
tries for sure.
I think this is hard for me because I've always been bigger than most men.
Yeah.
So like getting picked up is just like not something I've experienced. Like
Yeah.
like I remember when that stopped happening. Like even with like my own dad. Like I was just like a tall kid. So I'm like I'm not comfortable with that. Like getting picked up. I'm like, whoa, what the hell is this? But
Same.
I don't know. Like I don't know what you want me to say about this. This is just weird.
It just creeps me
It's
out.
weird to me. I'm like, I don't know how you trust a random man to be able to do that. not get hurt.
That's sports.
I really wish that we saw more behind just the flipping. Like, what's his approach? How many times does he get rejected to be like, oh no, dude, get away?
Yeah.
He's like, hey, can I flip
just
you in
like-
my legs?
Like if he was like, I can lift you, I'd be like, you can do this with a 200-pound? I see these other girls walking around. I'd be like, no, absolutely not.
I thought that one girl's boobies were gonna pop.
Yeah.
She was definitely worried. So was I.
Well, like all videos like this and like chiropractic videos, it starts with just like something, and then eventually the people get hotter and hotter and hotter unless
Yeah.
someone's clothes.
The chiropractic videos
The
you said.
chiropractic is just like, shh, it's just some dude, and then it's like girl with her boobs out, and you're like, this is awesome.
Yeah. And it makes everyone want to go to chiropractic
Yeah,
school.
yeah.
And then it's like with PT, it's like, we're going to do sports. And it's like, it's just old people.
Yeah.
Really. It's mostly
yeah.
old people you have to take care of.
All right, where can they find you, your stuff? We got to get out of here. We
Yeah.
got kids to feed.
Oh, I'm at Spera on most platforms, SPERICAA. And my podcasts are on YouTube, Apple, wherever you listen to pods.
Listen to the pod.
Thank you.
Subscribe. Erica Spera.
Thanks for having me.
What else am I supposed to say?
That's
Yours,
it.
no
Oh.
Savage.
Why are you pointing at me? You say something.
No, you were looking at me.
I don't know. I like to look at you. All right. Thanks for doing the show. Bye.